Hi, I just wanted to check in because I know that I will beat myself up for not posting anything, but I'll be honest about the fact that I don't really know what to post because I really haven't thought deeply enough this week to have anything to say about life. Um, but I think it's important to kind of keep tabs on how things are going. Oh my God. I this week has been weird. I'm going through this special diet. And I just made a video on my other channel about my health stuff, um, about how this week has just been kind of crappy eating wise. And I think it's a good thing to know about myself in general, because going into counseling, we study a lot about the gut brain axis and how um, the common theory now is that your second brain is in your gut. And when you are not taking care of your gut health and eating the things that you should be eating, it affects your mental health as well. So, really, what some of the thought is that most of our anxiety comes from our belly. So, um, I've noticed that this week that this has been a week where I've been very on edge and not necessarily anxious in the normal way that I am, but just anxious in the way that I can't focus. And um, I will say that this week has been a little bit difficult in terms of depression. I feel a little bit more depressed this week as well. And I think that there's a lot of things that go into it. There is a lot of self sabotage that I think I've talked about before, but a lot of that comes in the way of food because I do have a diagnosed binge eating disorder, and there is a lot of triggering and things. And this week, I've been doing a very bad job of being very carby in my eating, and carbs are awful for me. They trigger a lot of things, so I think that has a lot to do with it. Um, but I will also say that I am just in a state of tension still. I need to be divorced. I'm sick of being married, but it is again one of those self sabotage things where I literally right next to me have paperwork to get filled out and go and get a divorce. I just haven't done it yet. Um, I'm just sort of laying low. I don't necessarily know what I'm waiting for. I'm just not processing anything. And I have a really great friend that I've met through school, and she has asked me to Skype with her once a week just to kind of check in on things. And this week she's really kind of held my butt over the flame this week to try and make me set these goals in place because the sabotaging that I'm doing is going to have a lot of lasting things. And past the divorce, I know I want to be divorced. Sick of this dude. I don't want to do it anymore. Um, there are things that work stuff and school stuff and internship. There are a lot of things that right now I'm just sitting on because I'm too overwhelmed to think about them. In terms of marriage stuff, I feel like I'm all over the place. This has been my entire week has been me being all over the place, not being able to focus on one thing and just get it done. So here's a video of me being all over the place too. So in terms of the marriage stuff, I last weekend it was just nonsense emails back and forth. There are a lot of emails that I'm getting lately from him talking about I love you so much, I'm going to be perfect for you, I'm trying all of these things and I miss you, and just bullshit. Like he lies so much, and I can look at things and make these connections between different things that he's saying, and I know that he's full of shit all the time. Um, he even emailed me one time this week and said I had a really bad dream because I had asked him about something like very taxes or something, and he came back with some. Oh no, I know what it was. His daughter called me and scrambled to get off the phone, and I thought it was him. That's why I answered it, thinking it was something to do with like him getting his stuff or insurance. And she hung up really quick. So I emailed him and said, "Did you call me? What did you need?" I answered, and it ended up being her. So that was his back and forth. And I jokingly said, when he said it wasn't me calling you, I said, "Oh, well, then your kid is breaking the rules. LOL." And he flew off the handle because I shouldn't refer to her as his kid. She has a name, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of a smart ass back and said, I said LOL, and your rule for 3 years was to say LOL if I'm joking. So I'm sorry that you couldn't communicate. Whatever. I'm entitled to be kind of bitchy. Um, so that happened. And then he emailed me back and said, well, I took it the wrong way because I had a really rough night. I had a really bad night's sleep because I had a dream about you. He told me that in the dream, he saw me cheating on him. It was like a revenge dream, which I would never cheat for revenge. I never cheat anyway, but I'm also not a revenge person at all. I'm the opposite of a revenge person. And he said, so I saw this happening and I saw these screenshots and now I know how you feel. You don't know how I feel because I was with you for 6 years and for 6 years you cheated on me. And I know of at least 12, 15 girls in particular that you either talked to or showed your junk to or met up with, or I know these things. So no, your dream that woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning does not allow you to empathetically feel how I felt, but nice try. So, um, and today he actually came and got all this stuff, and that was like him trying to be flirty up until he got it, and me freaking out and not doing my work for the day because I'm trying to regulate myself. Um, that was another thing that happened last weekend too. Again, I'm all over the place, but last weekend I had a really good time. I was out with friends. I never go out, and I went out drinking and dancing with friends, and it was amazing, and I felt wonderful and had such a good time. Woke up on my friend's couch and had an email from him saying, I'm going to come over tomorrow and get my stuff. So then I spent the rest of my weekend freaking out, and I got up and I got ready because makeup is my de-stressor, and I'm cleaning the house, and I'm just trying to stay calm, listening to music, and then like 15 minutes before he had to be here, he said, I'm going to have to cancel and reschedule. So I instantly went into a rage and I was very upset and, crying with anger for the rest of the day because even from far away, he's still controlling my emotions, which is so shitty. Um, so I got myself calmed down and ended up kind of telling him pretty sternly that he needed to think of a day, think of a time, and actually make it happen. So on to today. Today is Friday and he came tonight to get his stuff. He brought a friend with him and it was weird. Like, he makes my stomach hurt just to see him. And I went out in the garage just to make sure that he was taking what he was supposed to take. Um, and he was just talking like nothing was wrong. Like, he called me by my name, which was always kind of weird and jarring because he's never called me by my name. But it was just dumb. He talked the whole time, and all of what he was saying was bullshit. So nothing ever changes. Whatever. Um, is what it is. But at least his stuff is gone. And I actually, in sort of his anger this week, he agreed that he just wants to be done because I told him we did have some email exchanges back and forth about how much he misses me and he wants another chance and he hopes that I'll wait for him. And I told him that I did wait for him and I went on paragraph after paragraph. So we went back and forth quite a bit. I think that was Wednesday. And so he again got the clue that I am not interested in getting back with him again. And he said, well, let's just get a divorce. I can get a divorce in March. So I said, no, we need to go to court together, turn in the paperwork, then they'll give us a court date 60 days from then. We go to court together, and then we're done. So he seems to be pretty much in agreement that that needs to happen sooner rather than later. He said, I just want it done so I stop thinking about this stuff and having hope. Whatever. So that's where I'm at with marriage stuff. Diet stuff. I just made a video all about the diet stuff, so I'm not even going to talk about that again. Motivation-wise, I'm still pretty motivated. I've still been working out every single day to try and get myself trained up for the mini marathon. So that's been pretty consistent. In terms of like social stuff and my social anxiety, things are going pretty well. Like I said, spent last weekend, I really pushed myself and I ended up meeting a few friends at my friend's house, and then we ended up going out to a drag show, and we stayed at a gay bar that my friend really likes. We were there all night dancing and stuff, and then I ended up actually going back to her house. She went to bed, and me and one of my other acquaintances, she's a friend, not a close friend, a work coworker, we actually ended up staying up until 5 a.m. talking about stuff, so that was really nice. I had a really, really great time with that. This week has just been bad anxiety and depression wise, so I've not done too much of pushing myself more than the bare minimum. It's been hard to keep myself motivated. And now I'm sort of prepping for tomorrow. I am going out again with those friends and more friends. And it's a new experience, so I'm nervous about it, but I'm really pushing myself. And I'm noticing that when I'm not taking care of my body and I'm not taking care of my mind and doing a lot of good self-care things, that's when it really triggers because I feel very unconfident. I feel like I've gained weight. I feel bad about myself. So then I just had this assumption that people are going to think badly about me. So I'm seeing these kind of connections and these triggers that are going on, and I'm just going to push through them. I had a conversation with my ex tonight about a baby shower for his niece that's going on tomorrow. He and me and his niece hit it off from the day I met her. She's very much like me. We just connected. And despite everything that's going on, she is 8 months pregnant and she still wants me to be the godmother of her baby. So she's having like her third baby shower, and I'm invited tomorrow. And I talked to my ex tonight, and he basically said it would be really awkward if you go. So I texted my niece, or my ex-niece, whatever she is, and I told her that I couldn't go, and I ended up having a phone call with her crying, and her sister talking to me, and my ex-brother-in-law talking to me. And so long story short, I have to go into this really awkward, scary situation with my ex's family and his sister that I'm not even going to say on the internet anything about that. So it's very scary, and thankfully I do have it out because I am going out with these work friends. So I'm basically spending the night trying to get my homework done, get myself motivated, and kind of wrapping my head around these goals that my friend on Wednesday made me set for myself. And she's kept me accountable. She's emailed me every day to ask where I'm at on getting these goals taken care of. So she's a fantastic friend for a lot of reasons, but that one for sure. So again, trying to wrap my head around things. Yeah, I think that's it. I guess the only other thing that I kind of dealt with this week is sort of irritation about the friend that I talked about a couple of videos ago who really kind of helped me transition through and push me through stuff. And things this week have just been really awkward and irritating with that situation. So it's sort of this empowering thing where I am recognizing that I can choose who I spend my time with, and I don't have to sort of default back to somebody that is in, a really weak place. That's another thing that I've noticed this week. I guess it's been a bigger week than I thought it has. I've really found out a lot about myself in when I have times of weakness, being able to extend myself to other people. So what normally happens is I'm having a really shitty day, and then I'm having to help 5 other people through their crises. And Monday morning, I think it was Monday, it was super shitty for me. I was very upset. I hadn't done homework stuff. I was just really angry about everything. Everything was going wrong. It was horrible. And as I'm freaking out and trying to sort of reach out to people for help, they're all needing my help in return. And normally I get very bitter in those situations because I always think, well, nobody fucking helps me in these situations. Who is there to pick me up off the floor? And there never is anybody. So normally I'm in that bitter place where I'm just pissed off at everybody. But this time I was able to kind of help everybody through what they were going through. And I sat back and realized that it's not a matter of them not wanting to help me. It's a matter of them not being able to help me, because I've spent so much time learning about myself and evolving and getting better and overcoming every obstacle I have and becoming stronger that they can't help me with what I need. They know that I'm already at this strong place that they need what I have to offer. They need the strength that I have. And there's nothing they can say to help me. And I kind of realized that by one of my friends was emailing me because she was having a really hard morning. And I was a little short. I wasn't rude to her at all, but I said, I don't know. I'm having a really, really bad day. I don't know. And she immediately jumped in and said, what's going on? How can I help you? What do you need? And I was like, well, I'm feeling really depressed, and I'm realizing that a lot of it is seasonal. A lot of it is just such and such is going on. So I'm noticing that when I'm depressed, I'm trying to keep myself active because it makes me feel better. And she said, well, I'm very proud of you for being able to know about your feelings and what to do with them. Because I said, here's a problem, here's a solution, here's how I'm working towards it. And that's what I would have given to anybody else. And clearly I don't need it because I did it myself. So I'm sort of realizing what kind of support I need from other people, and accepting that support and accepting where I am. And then just accepting the expectations that I have of other people. I have incredibly high, unattainable expectations for myself. And it's not fair to anyone or to myself for me to expect those from other people. So I guess it has been a big week, or a big 2 weeks. I don't know. I think that big things are coming. I know that big things are coming. I'm just in this crunch time where everything is crazy and bad. and scary and unsettled and anxiety ridden. And I just know that I have to remain positive and not try to control and fix everything myself, because I can't. I will go crazy and I will die. And so that's where I'm maintaining myself right now. So that was 15 minutes that I didn't plan on talking about. So there's just sort of a synopsis of my last couple of weeks, and I'll check in sometime.